Hello everyone and welcome back to our blind Let's Play, ever 17 for the PC. My name is FlightlessBird, this is our basic gaming channel, and today we're going to continue on what I believe is Tsugumi's route. Because it seems like all the story is centered around Tsugumi at least. We're in the jellyfish, the Qual, and I just wanted to go back to read a little bit because I want to make sure we know what's going on. So Tsugumi got up slowly, her disheveled clothes showed just a peek of her legs, and a glimpse of her sleek thighs, her clean satin skin, and a scar. What's the matter? Takeshi, what are you looking at? You right there, at the scar. Do you want a closer look? Well, yeah, no? Shall I show you? No, really? It's okay. There was definitely a scar there, but it looked like something I had healed years ago, leaving only the faint mark of stitches that once closed a wound. Wait, that was the end of the section? Man, I could have just gone an extra 30 seconds and that would have been fine. But, oh well. Oh, by the way, I hope everyone's having a wonderful, fantastic day today. Afterward, I went straight back to the conference room. Both my mind and body were exhausted. Even though little remained of the night, I slept soundly. When I awoke, I felt refreshed and fully recharged. Apparently, no one had noticed my disappearance during the night. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Sora-san. Morning. Yeah, hi there, Sora. A little later than usual, Sora presented herself in the conference room. Interesting, it's still, the title of this chapter is still Until Dawn. So even though we transitioned, we didn't change, sections, I guess. So how about it, Sora? How did the maintenance go? Well, that is... System condition は正常です。最も設備の物理的破損については改善のしようがないのですが。The system is in sound condition, although there would be no way to repair any mechanical damage if it were to occur. 無事メンテナンスは終了しました。前回において通常と変わりない機能をお届けできることを保証します。The scheduled maintenance program checked out. I can assure you that the entire compound is functioning normally. Well, that's good to hear. 私、茜ヶ崎空については診断の結果、若干の思考ノイズがあることが発見されましたが。After carefully assessing the situation, I have found a slight noise in my thought processor. 業務上問題はないものとされ、そのままになっています。Normal function will not be compromised, so no modifications are necessary. ねえねえ、ソラさん、思考ノイズって何？Hey, Sora-san, what does that mean? ココちゃん、それはね。Well, Coco-chan, it means that... 時々、私にいたずらをしようとするお客さんがいるんですよ。嘘を教えたり、意地悪をして混乱させたり。You see, sometimes certain customers want to play pranks on me. They tell lies or try to confuse me. それで、私の記憶や反応がちょっと変になってしまうことがあるんです。そういうのが思考ノイズなんです。You pause there. Okay. And because of that, my memories or program responses get a little out of alignment. It tends to cause issues in my thought processing. あらかじめ持っている知識と新しい情報とどちらが正しいのか判断できなくなってしまって。Sometimes older data gets mixed with newer information, making it difficult to determine which is correct. I can understand that. I mean, if you're an AI that's programmed to learn based on people's responses, but you're not actually getting honest responses, that could mess with your collection of data. あまりひどいとシステムをいじって記憶を書き換えることになります。When this problem becomes severe, it's necessary to fiddle with the system and overwrite the problematic data. でも今回はそんなトラブルは起こっていませんから 心してくださいね。
However, at this time, nothing too drastic has occurred, so please don't worry. Okay.
あとはそうですね。皆さんが眠っていた間の館内センサーの記録のチェックはまだ行われていません。
Other than that, I have yet to complete a full check of the censored data, which was recorded throughout the compound while you were all sleeping.
新たな浸水などは起こっていないと思いますけど、早めに記録を確認して状況をご報告しますね。
I doubt any new leakage has occurred, but I will report back to you once I've checked the censored data.
そら、頼んだよ。
Thanks, Sora. We're counting on you.
はい、お任せください。
Yes, leave it to me.
そうそう、レミ端末はメンテによってレスポンスが向上したはずです。
By the way, thanks to the maintenance program, the Lemmy terminal response has greatly improved.
レミのトラフィックに問題があったのですが、この問題を解決。現在のレミューの状態に合わせ、端末の通信機能は最適化されました。
There was a slight problem concerning Lemmy traffic. Oh, press wrong button there. Sorry about that. There was a slight problem concerning Lemmy traffic, but it has been resolved. Terminal communication functions were optimized to adjust to Lemmy's current status. Hey, Sora, what do you mean by traffic? I'd like to know more about what exactly was tweaked in the terminals. Is that a good thing? Because we can't really get communication outwards. So, are we going to be able to call for help now? All the dots.
それでは皆さん、そろそろ食事に行きましょうか。
Alright, everyone, why don't we go to breakfast? That's not an answer to my question. That's a dodge. What in the... Was it just me, or did she totally ignore my question? She totally ignored your question. Oh well. Perhaps she just couldn't hear me. Everyone relocated to the tuna sandwich shop. Is it because we didn't listen to her secret earlier? She's ignoring us now. And as always, I cooked up breakfast for everyone. Looking at their faces as they ate, I suddenly felt relieved. The faces of you, Coco, and the kids seemed so happy. Sora just stood by, quietly watching them enjoy the meal. And we know that Tsugumi now is able to run because her body heals faster than normal people's bodies heal, right? That's why the idea of her being a carrier of that disease makes sense. Although the thing is, normally when you're a carrier of a disease, you're not affected by the disease. You're like immune to the disease. So how is she a carrier of a disease and yet the disease is still affecting her? By definition, that doesn't make her a carrier. It just makes her someone who has a virus, right? Sora just stood by and watched them eat the meal. However, Tsugumi was nowhere to be seen. Did she go back to the infirmary? Okay, new chapter, Unknown Clouds. After breakfast, we each had plenty of free time. But there was nothing in particular to do. Nothing that just had to be done. So without any reason, we all just ended up gathering in the rest area. As always, the vases were filled with blossoming flowers. Marguerites, marigolds, and roses. Apparently, the flowers were watered periodically by mist from the sprinkler system, helping them maintain the freshness. I didn't see Sora anywhere, but then again, she did say she hadn't finished checking the sensor data. She had probably gone to the control room. It seemed that she could concentrate on performing operations better there. You, who had been talking with Sora earlier, was strolling alone around the top of the circular stage in the middle of the room. The kid, Coco, and Pepe were carefully chasing each other, or playfully chasing each other, through the water. Not carefully chasing each other. You don't need to be careful about running through the water. I had a feeling I had seen it all before. After having a good stretch, I watched Coco and the others play. The three of them, the two kids and an animal, circled the stone statue. They were playing a game of chase, not really caring who was it. Without seeming to get bored, they kept running around and around. On the other hand, I got restless watching them. Phew, what a sight. It looked kind of fun, but I didn't quite feel like asking to join in. And at any rate, Tsugumi had yet to make an appearance that morning. Just in case, I had left a sandwich for her at the kiosk. I don't know if she'll actually eat it or not. What would I say to her if I met her? She had confided her secrets to me on the jellyfish gondola. Virus carrier. A body that never died. A body that never grew old. Her healed scar. It was all so hard to believe. What if she's not 24? So I was thinking about this earlier today. There was this show that I saw a long time ago called, I think it was called War. It was a show where it was like the Irish rebelling against like the overlords. I don't remember it exactly. But there was this one character in the show. He was like a magician of sorts. His name was Longinus. And his name was, he was the soldier that pierced Jesus' side when Jesus was on the cross. Hence, Longinus' spear. This was the original soldier. The thing is though, the soldier has been cursed so that way he'll never die. Because of the sin he committed by poking Jesus, even though Jesus was already dead, but you know, regardless. The idea was that the only way he could die is if he was killed with the Longinus spear itself. And so he was working with like the evil monarch to try to recover this spear so that way he could die. Because all he wanted to do was die because he's been existing for so long that life didn't have any purpose anymore and was the one thing that he wasn't able to do. Is that like that with Tsugumi here? Tsugumi is not 24. Maybe she's like 200 or 300 or 500 years old. Maybe she's been around for just so long and she's been 17 for so long that she wants to die because, you know, she feels tired of living. Does that make sense? It was also hard to believe. Could such a mind-boggling story even be true? I was still unable to completely believe her. I glanced up and noticed Coco and the others had stopped playing. Huh? What is she doing? With a worried look on his face, the kid was watching Coco intently. Pippi, too, had his eyes on her. In the middle of the rest area stood 4 stone statues. Coco was deliberately attempting to scale one of the pedestals. Here I go. With a heave, she began to climb up the side. All the questionable dots? It was an odd sight. I ran to the kid as he stood frozen watching her. Okay. Stumbling as she mounted the pedestal, Coco ended up embracing the statue.
Coco, 一体何やってるの?
Coco, what the heck are you doing? The kid asked her brazenly. Yahoo! Wow, all I did was stand a little higher, and everything looks all different. What if she has the virus as well? Like, maybe that's why, even though she's in the 9th grade, she looks like she's an elementary schooler, because what if she's been infected too? What if we've all been infected, and we've all been living here, like, for hundreds of years, and something happens that just makes us forget that? And we just repeat this cycle over and over again. Let's see. To be exact, 68 centimeters higher, don't you think? Perched on top of the pedestal, Coco said that while smiling triumphantly. Oh, the questionable dots?
ねえ、ココ。そのためだけにそこに登ったの?
By the way, 68 is 51 plus 17, so, you know, another 17 reference. Hey, Coco, is that why you climbed up there? What? Well, actually, no. Coco answered with her head cocked. This area right here looks like it's missing something.
寂しい?
Missing something? Which area? The statue's back. I kind of thought its back looked lonely. Coco stroked the statue's back sympathetically with her tiny hand. Man, we just got done playing our Silent Hill Origins for the day, and there was this monster where it looked like there was this second monster like fused into the first monster's back. So the second monster is like swinging at you with hands, and the first monster is like crawling on the ground. It was terrifying, okay? And the fact that she brings up there's something missing on her back just made my brain go to that dark place, and I'm like, ugh. And well, abracadabra. screwdriver at ya! Uttering a stream of nonsense, Coco suddenly produced a flathead screwdriver in her right hand. ×2! And then another one appeared in her left hand. Where are you getting all these screwdrivers from? Yeah, where did she get those? I love when the protagonists are on the same page. But before I could ask her anything, Coco was gripping 2 screwdrivers. And then, into the back of the statue, she began to carve the stone using the tip of the screwdriver. Here we go. Okay, I like Kid's face here. How Kid is just looking on with sweat running down from his face like, what is this girl doing? Yeah, it looked... 2 screwdrivers in the back of a statue. Very, very interesting. I love the artwork. Cut, cut. Cut, cut, carve, carve. And within moments, the back of the statue was covered with gashes. Oh, the questionable dots. It was incomprehensible. I just couldn't understand it. First, she said the back looked lonely, and then she started gouging it. For a while, the kid and I just gazed at her with our jaws dropped. Hey, what are you doing? The kid yelled at me as he came back to his senses. Not yelled at me. I'm carving. Can't you see? I'm carving. I'm etching some marks into the stone statue. Oh, really? Etching some marks. I can tell that by watching you, Coco. That's not what we mean. What for? The kid beat me to the question. Well, it's because I was feeling lonesome. And anyway, I was feeling sad. Aww. I was feeling sad. She muttered in a tiny voice. She worked with great dexterity, using a screwdriver in each hand. The tips of the screwdrivers dug into the stone, screeching and forming tiny grooves. Sad? Well, nobody's coming to rescue us, right? We've been abandoned. Oh, the reality of the situation is starting at home, isn't it? So what harm is there in wrecking the place a little? All the dots. Oh, the double dots. The kid and I looked at each other. Coco looked back at her handiwork. They were in the shape of people. Really simple looking, like stick people. And at the end of each stick was a little round head. Who's that? It's me, Coco. And look, this is Pee-Pee and Chimmy. Aww, she's got the hamster in there. Aww, can we have a picture of Pee-Pee and Chimmy like running around each other? That'd be adorable. Looking more carefully, I could see 2 unusual animal figures besides the human forms. All the dots. And then there's... One of the shapes had a particularly large head. It was only half finished. This is Sugumin. For Sugumin, it's important to make her look really cool. Aww. Singing in a cute little song, Coco continued to carve. She seemed entirely absorbed by what she was doing. Somehow, I could relate to her desire to throw herself into something. That's destroying private property. It's vandalism. Hey, relax, kid. Now's not the time to be so uptight. Coco's into her work. You can't blame her. Right. Here we go. Next. Uh-oh. Oh, this picture! Because of our unsafe position on the pedestal, Coco suddenly lost her balance. Oh my goodness, this looks like a, this looks like something out of a comic, out of a cartoon or a comic book. Look at the giant exclamation mark and look at her eyes. Look out! Without hesitating, the kid jumped forward, steadying her body. Aww. He grabbed her by the hips to prevent her from slipping down, then carefully lowered her to sit on the pedestal.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
足元気をつけてね。
Watch your step, okay? Yeah, we don't want to see you get hurt, Coco. Okay.
あ、そうだ。翔ちゃんも一緒にやろうか。
I know. Why don't you join me, kiddo?
え
You mean?
やろう。一緒にやろう。
Come on, please. Let's both try it.
ここんとこにね、翔ちゃんとナッキュを描いて。
You can carve a picture of yourself and knock you here.
でね、この辺にタケピョンを彫ろうと思ってるんだ。
And then I was thinking of carving Tekapion over here.
はい、ドライバー1個貸してあげる。
Okay, here's one of my screwdrivers.
うん、サンキュー。
Well, okay. Thanks. Energized by Coco's enthusiasm, the kid took the screwdriver and mounted the pedestal to join her. Be careful not to fall yourself, kid.
大丈夫だよ。
I'll be alright. And, don't slip, Coco. Why don't you let me hold you up?
どうしようかな。
Huh? I wonder if that's the,
大丈夫だよ。
she'll be alright. I was about to stretch my hands toward her, but the kid stopped me.
僕が支えるから。
Don't worry, I got her. The kid took hold of Coco's empty hand. While I embraced the statue in a hug, Coco and the kid steadied each other. Aww. And using their free hands, they both began carving shapes. The statue stood there without complaint, pointing to the south. A while later, what was left in the stone was the carved images of 6 people and 2 animals. Oh, look at that! Aww. It was evidence of our existence. Sort of like, you know, leaving, writing I was here, you know, in a place that you've been. That afternoon, after a light lunch, I looked around, but I couldn't find you anywhere.
食べ終わってすぐツバイトの警備室に行ったよ。
Looking for you? She ate lunch and then went to the security office on Zwitterstock.
なんかね、ナッキュ調べ物があるんだって。
She said something about doing some research. Research? I wonder what that could be.
さあね。
She didn't say exactly.
気になるなら、ユウに直接聞いた方がいいんじゃないかな。
If you really want to know, why don't you go ask her yourself? Yeah, I guess you're right.
ソラさんはどこ行ったの？
What about Sora-san? Where did she go?
制御室に入ったままみたいだね。忙しいのかな。さっき端末で声かけてみたんだけど、取り込み中だからって。
She's still in the control room. I spoke to her through the terminal intercom, but she seemed really busy. As usual, Tsugumi was nowhere to be seen, but the sandwich I left at the kiosk was gone. Come to think of it, you, Sora, and Tsugumi hadn't said a word to me all morning. Something's up. I can tell. At any rate, I figured I would go search for them, but I didn't know where to go. Oh, okay, that was a delayed reaction. Let's look for Tsugumi, is what I think we should do. So let's head to the infirmary, because that's where she might be, right? Although she is healing really fast. Turning down a corridor after climbing the emergency stairs, I came out in front of the infirmary. All the questionable exclamative dots? The door abruptly opened in my face and a person came flying out. Then they dodged right past me. In a flash, the figure was gone without even seeming to notice me. Who was that? I whipped around quickly, trying to see who the person was. It was Tsugumi. Hey, what's up, Tsugumi? Hey. I started to call out, but I hesitated. The events of the night before popped into my mind. I could stop her, but then what? In the meantime, all I could see was Tsugumi's back fading farther away. Hey, wait up. Where are you going? Barely getting the words out, I dashed after her. I ran up a corridor and hurriedly climbed the stairs. But the sound of her feet faded down the end of the emergency corridor. Her figure had already rounded the corner and was out of sight. Tsugumi! I was out of breath. I had run about 30 meters, but... Dang it, Tsugumi, you sure are fast! I grumbled after her, though she was well out of earshot. I didn't feel like I could catch up with her at all. Her speed was unnatural. She was still supposed to be recuperating, but still, she's still a little slower than when she pulled me away from the flood at the aquarium. Her leg probably still hadn't fully recovered. At any rate, I don't want her to overdo it. Ah, dang it! Annoyed that I was out of breath, I continued after Tsugumi. The sound of her feet was only barely perceptible in the distance. I strained my eyes to hear. You strained your... Oh. I can read, I swear. I strained my ears to hear. Yeah, that would be really weird if he's straining his eyes to hear someone. It sounded like she had headed downstairs. I descended the stairs. I was unable to hear any footsteps from below. It seemed that instead of going to the 3rd floor, she had gone down to the corridor on the 2nd floor. I came out near the entrance to the jellyfish gondola, the Qual. I thought she came this way, but Tsugumi was nowhere in sight. Dang it, I guess I'll just have to give up. What was the point of playing chase with her anyway? But still, I was disappointed. Without further recourse, I give up and walk to the nearby security office. As usual, the room smelled faintly of smoke. Oh, Kiranari. Noticing me enter, you turned toward me from the console. Say, you haven't been smoking, have you? I only said in jest, but you looked slightly offended. No way, how could you ask? You know the rules, no smoking until you're legal. You can joke if you want, but I can't believe you'd say that. I mean, just take a look at my fresh silky skin. This is the soft skin of a lady. This is the kind of beauty that's impossible for a smoker like you, huh? You spoke smugly, mocking me. I can't be around smoke. Like, I have, my entire life I've had respiratory problems, and when I went to a doctor one time, they said that he actually asked me if I was a smoker because my respiratory system wasn't as strong as what it should be, which is a sign of, you know, people who usually smoke, according to the doctor. But yeah, whenever I'm around smoke, I just suddenly start gagging and coughing because I can't breathe properly. And last time I checked, breathing was a good thing to do. So yeah, I can't smoke. I can't be around smoke. I have nothing against people who smoke. I can't be around them when they are because I can't breathe at all. Which is why whenever I go to a hotel on a trip, I have to make sure it's definitely a non-smoking room because even the after effects of smoke could like cause me to, you know, start coughing uncontrollably. Hey, I don't smoke. I love when the protagonists are on the same page. Oh, really? Oh, the dots. Anyway, let's stop all this stupid talk about smoking. I just wanted to ask you something. Kid said you were doing some research. Huh? The kid said that? You gave me a slightly surprised look. Kiranari, what exactly did the kid say? I don't remember exactly, but he just mentioned you were researching something, so I thought I'd ask you myself. All the dots. Well, in that case, I guess I'll let you in on it. Turning back to the console, you begin to type. You may not remember this, Kiranari, but I've been researching stuff about Lemieux for quite a while now. She spoke with her eyes glued to the monitor. And then there's this thing about my father. Well, that reminds me, you mentioned him earlier. Must have been the first day I came to this place. When you startled me by suddenly starting up the dolphin carousel. I had heard about him then. So, have you found something? Not yet. You shook her head slowly. Eyeing the monitor, she hit some more keys and entered a code. If I could only find the password. Have you tried your name? Password? If I just had the password, I could access all the data inside Lemmy. Have you asked Sora? Normally, all the data concerning Lemmy system has security protection.
それに開発スタッフの個人的なデータもね。
And of course, the personal data of the development staff has it as well.
そのプロテクトを解くための鍵、デミのセキュリティロックを外せる緊急用の最終パスワード。
And so I'm hunting
そ
for
れ
the
を
key to
探し
unlock.
てるのよ。
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you. And so I'm hunting for the key to unlock that protection and emergency override. Oh, so that's what you've been up to.
ええ。
Yeah. I have no idea if people would prefer me just to not have the Japanese read. Because when the Japanese voices read, it does take longer to play the game because I have to wait for them to finish up their thought. But in my opinion, I want the Japanese voice actors to read because that's the way that this game was designed, and it's kind of cool to hear their voices. So you know who's talking and everything.
でも、もうお手上げかな。
And besides, Coco's voice is adorable. So I mean, yeah, it's like I like hearing the voices. But I give up. You stop typing. Taking her eyes off the console, she looked at me. Hey, by the way, if you disconnect Lemmy's security protection, what will happen to Sora?
空？
Well, since Sora is an AI program inside the Lemmy system, won't she be affected?
そうね。
Yes.
もしプロテクトが解ければ、空は当然裸になる。
Naturally, if the protection is removed, Sora will be totally exposed. Naked. Yeah, let's not do that. Naked? Oh, the embarrassingly red questionable dots. Oh, come on, Takeshi. Don't think that way, buddy.
あ、クラナリ？今なんか変な想像したでしょ。
Kirinari! Did you just think of something kinky? Yep. Guilty as charged.
裸って言っても、空の映像がヌードに変わるわけじゃないよ。
When I say naked, I don't mean Sora's image will be nude. I wasn't thinking that at all. Maybe.
本当かな。怪しいな。
Yeah, sure. You seem pretty suspicious to me.
ま、いいけど。
Well, I don't really care. Oh, the embarrassing dots.
空の思考とか記憶、データとして見られるすべては丸裸になってしまうわけよね。
Sora won't become nude, but all her thoughts, memories, and various data will be accessible. So that is naked in a totally invasive way. Wow, that would be horrifying. I mean, just imagine if someone could see all of your thoughts, memories, and information about you just by looking at you. You would feel so vulnerable. Yeah, that's a scary thought. Well, that's the invasion of privacy. I'm glad we're on the same page, Takeshi.
そういう問題じゃないと思うけどな。
Well, not exactly. Really.
まあ、私は内緒事をベラベラ喋ったりはしないし。
I'm not one-
興味もないし。
I'm not one to go around blabbing secrets, and to tell the truth, I'm not interested.
空の秘密を知ろうって気はさらさらないから、安心しなさい。
So don't worry, I have no intention of going through Sora's personal data.
オーケー？
Okay? Okay.
オーケー？
Okay then. After that, I fell silent. I was searching for something to say. Yu was looking down. So, if you discover something about your father, then what? When I asked, Yu furrowed her brow slightly.
私もね、それを考えてるところ。
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
どうするべきかなんてもう分かってる。
But I know what has to be done.
分かりきってる。
I know all too well.
プロテクトを解けば全部分かる。
But once I break the security code, I'll know everything I need to know.
とにかく今、私はここのコンソールからレミシステムの中枢にあるはずのデータにアクセスしてる。
Anyway, I'm trying to access Lemmy system core from this console.
うまくいくかどうかは全然わからないけど、データがそこにあるらしいってことは分かってるの。
Whether it's possible to gain access or not, I can't say, but I know that data is there.
どこにデータがあるかまではもう
Yep,
分かったのよ。
certain the data is there. Oh, the dots.
まあ、分かったのはいいんだけど。
Well, at least it's a start. You suddenly became more upbeat.
このプロテクトがまたなかなか解けなくって頑固でね。
Cracking the security protection is going to be a real pain. This stubborn code.
だから果たしてそこに何があるのかというところまではまだまだたどり着けてないってわけ。
So what exactly awaits hidden inside? It's a little too soon to go there.
結局何も分かってないのと一緒だよ。
And until I can get inside, it's the same as not knowing a thing. You said this and then gave a big shrug. Well, yeah. But I still think it slows better than knowing nothing at all.
そうだよね。
Well, maybe you're right. You gave me a smile. She then popped her neck and rotated her stiff shoulders.
さてと
Now then,
もうちょっとだけ頑張ってみようかな。
back to work. Alright, you, good luck. There's still time.
オッケー。
Okay. Turning it back to me, you began to peck at the keyboard.
それにしてもさ、
But still, you know. Without stopping her hand, she muttered quietly.
昔からお母さんに聞かされてたお父さんの癖。
My mother used to tell me all about my father's habits.
わかるもんだね。
So I know there are clues to be found.
こんななんでもないような無機質なコンピューターのプログラムにも
Decoding something as inorganic as a computer program is possible because
人間の癖ってさ、
even programmers have habits. For a long time, you stared at the monitor. She didn't look my way, so I couldn't read her expression anymore. But I could tell by her shaky voice. She was probably crying. Without saying a word, I slipped out of the security office. Ooh, Crisis Point. 7:01 p.m. It was time for dinner. I made enough sandwiches for everyone and passed them out. Everyone moved with them to the rest area. We gathered on the circle stage in the center of the room and began eating. At a wave of Sora's hand, a gentle rain started pouring from the ceiling sprinklers onto the flower beds. There was even a small rainbow. Smiling, she stared at the fresh flowers and the sparkling rainbow. I wondered how long I could watch the little peaceful world she had created. How long could I keep looking at her smiling face? Thinking about it made me feel lonely. Then again, there were others with me too. One of them opening her mouth so wide that it didn't seem it would open anymore. She looked really happy. Is that Coco? Eating a sandwich? Nope, it's you. Kirinari! And had flipped off the wrapping paper.
タツタさんともう一個食べたいな。
I want another sandwich, please.
今すぐ作って持ってきて。おねがいしゅ。
See? The voices are so adorable. Would you please be so kind and make another one and bring it here? Pretty, please? She called out to me in a voice that seemed just a little too sweet. It seemed to me that she had been crying earlier, but it must have been my imagination. I wonder if she found out some information about her dad. Right, you're such a slave driver.
あら、なんですの？何かおっしゃいまして？
What was that? Did you say something? Nothing at all, my lady.
そう、わかればいいのよ。
Just as long as you realize who's in charge. Oh, I didn't do it as well as she just did, that's for sure. Reluctantly, I trudged back into the kitchen. I can't believe that girl. It wasn't like they were that hard to make. We had plenty of provisions. Still, I was irritated as I waited for the cold oil to heat up again. I anxiously fidgeted as I waited. The wire basket struck the frying pan with a clang. I'll just get this done as soon as I can.
ね
Hey. A customer had shown up without warning.
え、私も一つ追加を頼みたいんだけど。
I'd like to ask for another one, if that's okay. For you, Sugumi? Absolutely. Jeez.
何よ、たけし。
What, Takeshi?
機嫌悪そうね。
Did I catch you at a bad time? Sugumi looked annoyed. Sugumi!
ひょっとしてダメなの？
You don't want to make one? Huh? No, it's just, don't worry about it, it's okay. For you, girl, anything. I had to settle down. I'd allowed myself to get worked up. Trying to shake off my frustration, I replied, you just want one?
ええ、お願い。ああ、そうだ。それから、
Yeah, thanks. Oh yeah, one more thing. Tsugumi said that as she turned around.
ココどうするの？
What about you, Coco?
どうしようかな。
I'm not sure. Really? You're not hungry? That's strange. Coco peeked out from behind Tsugumi.
何か欲しい？
What do you want?
ちょこっとだけなんか食べようかな。
Maybe I'll just eat a little something.
そうね。じゃあパンを半分食べる？
Well, how about some bread?
ココそうするよ。
Okay, sounds good.
タケピョン、パン半分ください。
Takapion, I'd like some bread, please. Okay, gotcha. And thank you to Entra the other day for pointing out in the comment section that when I'm hearing the Japanese voice say a name, like how she just said the name Coco, that doesn't necessarily mean it's mistranslated. That's just how the language works. So it's not like it's being translated improperly. I just don't have a good understanding of the Japanese language to know about how the language works. I think I just said that like 3 times, but you know what I mean. See, I don't even know how English works, okay? Yeah.
よろしく。
Thanks.
ねえ、ところでたけし、
By the way, Takeshi,
さっきちょっと怒ってなかった？
were you upset just a little bit earlier?
どこか具合でも良くないの？それとも
Are you feeling okay, or is it? Nah, it's not like that. It just takes a while for the oil to get warmed up, so I was irritated, that's all.
そうなんだ。
Oh, was that it? She flashed me a smile.
わかった。大丈夫。慌てなくていいわ。
Okay, don't worry, just take your time. You know, when you look at me like that, it's hard for me to control myself.
私ちゃんと待ってるから。
I'll be waiting. Tsugumi grabbed onto Koko's hand and started walking slowly away. She was smiling so gently. She has me so wrapped around her finger right now. She had surprised me when she started talking to me all of a sudden. The Tsugumi right then seemed like she would never talk about dying even by accident. Well, maybe we gave her a reason to live. I wonder if she had resolved her feelings. If that was the case, then it seemed like talking with her had been the right thing to do. I had chased after her constantly, been hit by her, been put down by her, but the Tsugumi before me was unmistakably one of us.
そんでね、ほいでね、ココ夢を見たんだ。
And guess what? You know what? I had a dream last night. Tsugumi was listening to Koko intently.
どんな夢？
What kind of dream?
クジラに乗ったの。
I was riding a whale. Koko seemed to be truly enjoying herself.
ね、しょうちゃんとね、一緒にクジラに乗って。
And Kudo was riding on it with me.
でね、クジラがボインボインと跳ねて。
Did you say boing boing? And the whale was like totally bouncing all over the place.
ホップステップジャンプとばかりに
I just kept hopping and jumping.
宇宙の彼方イカスンデルにバッビューンと飛んでいって。
And we were in outer space going to this place called Planet Squid. And we're flying all around.
ほいでね、そしたらね、
And then guess what?
クイクイ星人に会えたんだ。
I met someone from Planet QQ.
そっか。
Oh really?
ココはクイクイ星人に会ってきたんだ。
So you met someone from Planet QQ, eh?
うんうん。
Yep.
しょうちゃんとココでね、二人でね、会ってきたの。
Kiddo and me, we both met him.
そっかそっか。
Is that so?
よかったね、ここ。
Well, that's great, Coco. Tsugumi listened to Koko's nonsense with a smile on her face. I watched their interaction quietly. I tried to sense what they were feeling. And
いらない。遅いって。
Kirinari, what's taking you so long? Sorry, it takes a while to cook good food, you know? I went into the rest area and you was lounging about lazily. What the heck are you all worked up about?
別に怒ってなんかないよ。
I'm not worked up about anything. It's just that you're so slow. I was wondering what's taking Karinari so long. That's all. And so, how'd it turn out, Chef?
Oh, the dits. You really don't know when to shut up, do you? Look, it's right here, so stop worrying.
When I showed you the package, she shrugged. Sugumi and Kokura had already finished theirs and were following behind me. I headed over to the circle in the center of the room.
Here, it's a Tanaka special. Take it.
I got up on the round dais and threw the package directly at you. What are you doing? Splat. The package flew over Yu's knees and landed softly in the center of the stage.
Hey, come on, wake up, will you?
I pretend to show surprise.
Be careful, there's some gourmet goods, you know.
Well, you're the one who threw it all of a sudden. Yu's cheeks puffed up. She picked up the package and dusted it off.
Sorry, I was just joking.
I lifted both hands in mock apology.
I was worried it would fall into the water there for a second.
Oh, stop it. You don't have to pick on me, you know. Grumbling to herself, she undid the string around the wrapping. Ah! You looked at the contents and puffed up again. Hey, the sandwich is burnt.
Well, not that badly. I mean, you should still be able to eat it.
I suppose. I'm the same way. When you burn something, I'm like, I can't eat this. You know? Anyone else like that?
Give me a break.
We carried on needling each other like that for a while. It's like brother and sister. When suddenly, someone came up and stood in front of you and me. No, maybe he'd been there for a long time. The kid was staring both of us with a leaden gaze. What is with that look? Hey, what's wrong, kid? You don't want it? The kid held an unopened fried tuna sandwich in his hand.
You gotta eat it to stay healthy, kid. It's probably cold by now. You want me to heat it up again for you?
I put out my hand, but he pulled the sandwich close to himself and tried to get away. He looked at me with a hard expression. And... What? The kid crushed the sandwich in his hand, using all his strength. The wrapping paper burst and sauce flew every which way. It got on his clothes as well, but he didn't seem to notice. He didn't stop there. He took the mangled package and threw it with all his might against the water on the ground. What's going on?
What? What the heck are you doing?
Oh, the dots. His shoulders trembling, the kid kept his face down. He was finally able to drag out some words. Sick. I'm sick of it. That's all I can take. The kid kicked at the thin layer of water at his feet. Everyone looked at him at once. Has he finally reached a breaking point here? I mean, it's called a crisis point, but yeah. Is he at the point where he's just like, we're all gonna die here? I can't stand it anymore. I don't want any more fried tuna sandwiches. I'm sick of them. I want to eat something else. He screamed. Everyone's breath caught in their throats. Oh, the dots. Oh, the dots. Oh, the dots. Oh, the dots.
Oh, there's way too many dots here. I forgot to say double and triple and quadruple and quintuple dots, but you know what? You know, there's a lot of dots.
Even the dog has in all the dots. But nobody had anything to say in reply because we all know we're really screwed here, right? I'm sick and tired. So what if we're still alive? There isn't any proof that anyone is going to save us. What we're doing here, everything that we're doing here, there's no point. There isn't any point to us being here. The kid raised a shaking fist, but not finding any direction to launch it, he lowered it again. Oh, the dots. Oh, the double dots. Yep, everyone's got, aw. Okay, so everyone has dots except for Pippi, which is whining dots. Everyone tried to keep their eyes from meeting, because we all know it's true, right? It seemed like they were afraid of what they might see. They tried desperately to avert their gazes. Nobody moved. People pressed their lips firmly together and dare not speak.
Stupid fool! What the heck are you talking about?
Finally, I looked up, shouting.
Don't ask for the impossible. Do you have any idea what you're asking? The only food we have to eat are these sandwiches and what's in the snack shop upstairs, and you know that.
That's not the point, Takeshi. Oh, the dots.
And you tell me you're sick of it? You still have to eat it. It's the only way to survive. So you better be thankful for it.
Oh, the dots.
We're all putting up with it the best we can. You're one of the gang, right? You should be a little more cooperative. They're all being patient. They're helping out. Even if they don't like it, they eat and they're surviving. If we don't, well then we're finished.
Oh, the dots.
Well, you wake up. We're all going to get through this together. As long as we're alive, there's still hope.
Whoa. What is with the explosion? What's with the boom? Suddenly, a low metallic sound reverberated throughout the complex. It was a dull, muffled sound. The floor shook slightly. Everyone staggered slightly and struggled to regain their balance. But nobody tried to do anything else. I know. I know that, Takeshi. I know. But still. Even though I know that, what can I do? Just then, the kid knocked the sandwich out of Yu's hands. She hadn't even taken a bite of her Tanaka special. It fell into the water with a splash and sank slowly. Oh. Oh, the exclamated dots.
You bastard! What do you think you're doing?
I went over, grabbed onto the kid, and raised my hand. Okay. Hit the kid? I don't want to hit the kid. I mean, definitely need to knock some sense into him. But we can do that with words rather than being physical. Don't hit him.
You.
Cowed. The kid froze. Oh, the dots.
Oh, the double dots.
Yeah, I can understand how he's feeling though. He's freaking out. He's reached the limit. We're all gonna die, and we're just playing house. You know, we're just like acting like a bunch of like a family that's stuck in a home, and nothing's happening. And I mean, eventually it's got to hit you sooner or later that, you know, the possibility that you dying here is a reality. I pulled back the hand I had raised. It all felt so stupid and so terribly sad. The kid looked up at me, all hunched up and trembling. I was disappointing in myself for having tried to hit someone like him. My heart ached with sadness. I let go of the kid's collar and he backed away slowly. Everyone watched us silently. Dang it! Poor kid. Tears welled up in his eyes.
Kid, look over at Tsugumi. She injured her leg terribly and almost drowned. She had surgery. If it was me, I'd probably died, but she pulled through it.
I pointed at Tsugumi. Tsugumi stood silently. The kid timidly raised his eyes to look at her. But he soon stared at the floor again. But... Takeshi, you could say that, but... I'm not Tsugumi. We're not all the same.
Oh, the dots. Oh, the double dots.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm just not that strong. And I never will be. I can't go on living.
生きていられないんだよ。
I don't want to go on living.
だからだったら
So then,
いっそのこと
I should just. Oh, the debts. I don't want to make him say the rest, but I couldn't stop him. I knew how hard it would be for him to say. Even I wasn't that strong. Everyone waited for the kid's next words in silence. They were probably unthinkable.
で、どうしたいの？
So, what do you want to do? Huh? 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 What?
どうしたいの？あなたは。
What do you want to do, kid? Sugumi took a step forward and stared at the kid. Those eyes were unfeeling and quiet.
ねえ、教えてよ。
Come on, you can tell me.
少年がどうしたいのか知りたいわ。
I want to know what you want to do. Softly, she approached the kid one step at a time. Everyone was so caught off guard that they couldn't move, couldn't say a word. All the dots.
どうしたの？言えないの？
What? You can't say it? All the dots. He tried to say something, but no words came out of his mouth. He also had forgotten how to back away. Sugumi went up to the kid and touched him.
生きていたくないの？
You don't want to live? The kid tried to nod, but his head wouldn't budge.
じゃあ死んじゃいたいの？
So, you want to die then? The kid couldn't respond either.
何か言ってよ。お願いだから。
Say something, please.
私にはよくわかんないの。
I don't know what you mean. All the dots. Sugumi asked the kid, her tone neutral.
ねえ、どっちなの？
So, which is it?
あなたは死にたいの？
Do you want to die?
あなたは生きたいの？
Do you want to live? All the dots.
そう。答えられないんだ。
So, you can't answer.
だったら
Well then,
もう二度とそんなこと言わないで。
don't ever say that again.
ね？
Okay? Poor kid. The kid broke down in tears and fell to the submerged floor. God.
ごめんなさい
I'm sorry.
ごめんなさい
I'm so sorry. Yu, suddenly spurring action, ran over to the kid and wrapped her arms around his shoulders. Sora looked down and covered her face with her hands. She was trembling. Coco and Pepe were staring at everyone, speechless. Sugumi. Not knowing what else to say, I just stood there. I looked at her face, but I couldn't read what she was thinking from her expression.
たけし、ちょっとこっちに来て。
Come here for a second. Huh? Seeing that I was confused, Sugumi ran over to me. Eyebrows raised, she glared at me strongly. What was she thinking? Ouch! What are you doing? That hurts!
いいから来なさい。
Stop whining and get over here.
さあ、早く。
Come on, hurry up! Totally clueless, I followed along behind her. She had grabbed my ear and mercilessly tugged. Let me go, Sugumi. Why are you doing this? Ouch! Oh, the dots. She wordlessly and doggedly moved forward. She kept a firm grip on me and kept pulling so I couldn't get away. Ah, you ripped my ear off. It's seriously going to come off. Ah, officer! This is killing me! Let go of me, please! Oh, the dots. We kept climbing the stairs. She wouldn't let go no matter how I pleaded, so I finally shut up. And when we finally made it to the second floor, she let go of my ear. Woo, thank heavens. I mean, what are you doing? Are you crazy?
うるさいわね。
Quit your complaining.
やっと黙ったと思ったのに。
Just when I thought you finally shut up. Sugumi let out a big sigh. Ah, what's that supposed to mean?
見ての通り、
Or what's that face supposed to mean? Just what it looks like.
がっかりしてるのよ。あな
I'm
た、
so disappointed in you. She furrowed her brow and looked at me. She pinched the bridge of her nose and shook her head. She looked completely fed up. Sugumi turned and she started walking from me. Hey, wait a second. Why? What's with you? Did I do something to you? I heard it over there and insisted that she answer me.
違う
No.
違う違うあなたはまるで分かってない
No, it's not like that. You don't understand anything. And throwing back her shoulders, she picked up her pace. What? Don't I understand? I mean, things were getting out of hand back there. If you had said something, I don't know how it would have turned out. I'm glad you did. Really sorry and thanks. Oh, the dots. Hey, wait, Tsugumi. I kept yelling as I chased after her. Alright, this is unfortunately where we're probably gonna have to stop for the day. Thank you for everything. Oh, wait, I can't save. Okay, yes, I can save. I pressed the button and nothing happened there for a second, so yeah. But yeah, thank you for everything, my friends. I love you all so very much. Our blind Let's Play ever 17, the Out of Infinity, by your FlightlessBird on your story-based gaming channel. Blah, I can't talk today. Yesterday I experienced like major migraines, so we didn't have a part up yesterday. I am feeling better today. Usually it only lasts about 24 hours, but whew, I'm gonna go crash on the couch and go rest, and hope you guys just have a wonderful day. Until next time, so long and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, please do not forget, you matter, you are brilliant, and you are loved. And you should always remember to be true to yourself. Don't let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly feathered flightless bird. Till next time.